Hello everyone, welcome to Yourpedia channel, and today here I am at IIT Ropar in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and I welcoming here to Dr. Parwinder Singh, who is Assistant Professor specializing in Psychology at the Department of Humanities and Social Science IIT Ropar. So welcome here sir to the channel of Yourpedia Global. This is first time we are welcoming a Assistant Professor of Psychology on the channel, and I'm very glad I'm going to take the interview here. So sir, can we start from your journey? What was your journey and how did you come to here at IIT Ropar as assistant professor?
Okay. Before I start, I want to welcome Yourpedia team to this institute, IIT Ropar, right? And I really appreciate the effort this team, Yourpedia, is contributing, is putting to accumulate the knowledge, the information about our PhD programs and other courses, right? And I'm sure this information is going to be very helpful to the aspirants, those who are looking forward for higher education, right, here at
Yes, sir.
IIT Ropar. So I welcome you, the entire team, right. As far as my journey is concerned, I come from a very humble background. I am from Punjab only, and I completed my masters and PhD from Punjab University Patiala.
Okay.
In 2012, I got this PhD degree. Right. After that, I joined as assistant professor in one of the constituent colleges of Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar.
Okay.
Right, and here at IIT Ropar, I applied here in 2018 and joined in April 2018. And after 10 plus 2 only, you'll be very surprised to see that at that time I didn't have any knowledge about this psychology, and so accidentally I selected this subject, psychology, and in the very first year only I found that this is the thing I'm going to do.
Okay.
Right, because the characteristics, a psychologist is supposed to have, right. So I found myself very compatible with the requirement of this profession.
Okay.
Right, from the first year only, from the graduation, the first year only, I decided that yes, this is the field I want to get in.
Yeah.
Right, and then in 2018 I got selected here, and here what I found is that the characteristic which got me in here at Ropar was the research potential.
Okay.
Research potential, and my specialization in psychology, as you know, is counseling psychology. So in
Okay.
counseling psychology, and my PG diploma in counseling psychology, PhD in counseling psychology equipped me with all those skills, all the expertise, knowledge, with which I think that I can do something in research, right? And in India, the kind of things we are doing here in India, it require the kind of research it required. So that motivated me to get in the research institute. That's why I'm here in IIT Ropar, because IIT Ropar is the institute which actually motivate you for the research support, right? Provide all the requirements, all the resources, the environment, right, which are required for an effective research. So that's why I selected this IIT Ropar here.
Okay.
And I was fortunate that I got selected here.
Okay. And sir, how does the psychology program at the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at IIT Ropar is different from other IITs, NITs, and higher education institutes of India?
Yeah, sure. So yes, as of now, we have this PhD program in psychology, and we are planning to start other courses also. How it is different? I'm the only one in psychology here, and I started this PhD program in psychology here. One difference which I, from the very beginning, which I wanted to make is that in India, the research trend, or the concept of research is mainly based on some descriptive research or correlational studies. I'm not saying all institutes are doing the same way, but I thought that I will shift toward the different methodology. So different methodology that I adopted is that I plan that I will either work in experimental thing or interventional thing. Right. So how it is different from other institute? Other institutes are also doing good, their own specialization with their own methodology. But here IIT Ropar is different because here those who want to come here, they are supposed to do either experimental work, rigorous experimental work, or interventional studies. So the students that I have as of now with me, all are working either on interventional research or experimental research. In intervention, if I elaborate a bit more, so my first he worked on depression among women. And we planned an intervention to reduce this depressive symptomatology among rural women. So earlier, the kind of research that we were doing was just a descriptive, like what leads to depression or what are the consequences of depression, but very few are working toward their treatment. Right. So here in IIT Ropar, we thought that we will do something the applied side at the applied side. Right. So we devise interventions, we design experiments, right, and we try to implement the knowledge that we have gathered in the last 2 decades in India, the knowledge that we have gathered about the dynamics of different maladaptive behavior. So we tried that we should apply it. Its time is the best time to apply it. So in IIT Ropar, I thought that we will not go for descriptive research anymore. So either experimental or interventional. So this is one thing which I can say that it differentiate IIT Ropar program from other institutes. With due respect to all other institutes, they are doing best at their capacities. But here at IIT Ropar, I think, and this is the factor which differentiate IIT Ropar from other institutes.
And sir, if someone has to take admission here under you, so what is the eligibility criteria here?
Okay, so two things I want to say. First thing is the technical eligibility, right, which most of the student may be aware of. Technical eligibility is that UGC NET, as you know, NET is the compulsory requirement here for regular PhD programs. For part-time and ERP, we have different programs. For regular PhD program here at IIT Ropar, one should have UGC NET or GATE exam cleared, right? And masters in relevant subject with 60% marks. With 60%. If you fulfill these eligibility criteria, you can apply for this PhD program. After that, because as I said that my research area and methodology, I am working in a specific direction, then I want those students who want to work in with these methodologies, either experimental work or interventions, plus my theme, which is, as of now, I'm working on emotion regulation.
So those students who are interested to do their PhD in IITs and those who are interested to join IIT Ropar, so this information is for you. If you are from psychology background, then just visit the website, the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences of IIT Ropar. Even the profile of Parwinder sir is already there, And if you want to check the eligibility criteria more in detail, in the description we will give you the link. You can check this out there and you can apply at IIT Ropar. So, sir, my another question is, as a psychology student aspiring to pursue a PhD at IIT Ropar under your guidance, so what are the requirements that you want to see in the student, those who are interested to do PhD under you?
So, as I mentioned earlier in the previous question also, apart from the technical eligibility, that I want students that they are knowledge-wise or other thing we will manage here somehow, right? But interest in doing research, right? Research aptitude, right? That quest to do something in as far as research is concerned, right? And not only in research but the applied part of it, right? If they have this interest, if they are well versed with the experimental methodology, the interventional methodology, right? Then I think that is sufficient. Rest of the training we provide here.
Okay.
Right. So only thing that students should have is that interest.
Yeah.
Right. And somewhat they should be familiar with the experimental methodology and all.
Okay.
Right. In addition to the technical requirement.
Okay. All right, sir. So, sir, my next question is, how does your research aim to understand the cognitive architecture of emotion regulation and identify dysfunctional cognitions that hinder effective emotional regulation?
This is my favorite question so far.
Oh, wow.
So here I'll get the opportunity to talk about my area, to talk about the theme, the area which I am working on, and why I selected it. Right. So I'll talk about that. So as you mentioned, emotion regulation, right? Emotion regulation. Why I'm focusing on this emotion regulation, how I came to this point that I won't need to work on this emotion regulation, is that after 5 or 6 years of experience in this research in psychological domain and all, what I found is that different mental disorders, different psychological issues are originating from this one common notion that the individuals are not able to manage their emotion. Right? The entire spectrum of disorder, not entire, but the majority of it, right, they are affected somehow from one of or the other emotion regulation difficulties, or you may say maladaptive emotion regulation patterns, right? So we found that emotion regulation is a transdiagnostic concept, right? It leads to so many different issues, and that's why if we can do something about the emotion regulation pattern of individuals, it may help them in multiple domains. Right? If I am able to regulate my emotion, then it may prevent my depressive symptom also, my anxiety issues also, my interpersonal relationship also, adjustment at home, adjustment at workplace and all. The emotion is a very common driver. It drives us in different direction, right? So if the fuel, which is the emotion, is guided properly, it may help you to prevent maladaptive pattern. And that's why this emotion regulation is a thing. Now, emotion regulation is not a single thing, right? There are multiple antecedents, multiple consequences. And one area that I selected is that the cognitive architecture. So cognitive, how I am pursuing here it, that your emotions are being governed by your belief system only, by the way you process your information coming from the social interaction or information stored in your mind. The way you process it, it determines your emotions, initiation of emotion and regulation of emotion. So if we somehow can do something about your cognition, the way you process the information, then it will lead to effective emotion regulation. Right. So the studies that we are doing right now here in our lab, so we are trying to tap one or the other cognitive element of this emotional regulation. For example, one of my student is working in emotion regulation flexibility. Emotion, just for the sake of example, emotion regulation flexibility. So flexibility is a cognitive thing. So if we're able to switch the way you use any particular emotion regulation strategy appropriately in right context, then whatever emotion regulation strategy you use, it may have a beneficial effect in your behavior, or it will lead to adaptive behavior only. Right. So that's why this cognitive domain within emotion regulation is very important. We are targeting that. Another student is working on this reappraisal strategy, emotional regulation strategies. How if we reappraise a particular situation, that is a very common notion, but in India, very few studies are being done. If we can do something with the reappraisal ability of the individual, their emotion regulation strategies can be modified, and which will result in adaptive behavior. Right? I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. And sir, in your experience as a counseling psychologist, what advice would you like to give to psychology students who are looking to apply their knowledge and skills in practical settings? Are there any specific areas of applied psychology or counseling that you believe hold great potential for positive change?
Hmm. Yes. So there are two things here in this question. First is that what are the requirements? What students should do, right? So I always believe that your intention matters a lot. Skills, knowledge, technical requirements you will acquire through formal education and all. Teachers are there, universities are there, course curriculum are there, which will instill some skills, some knowledge in you. But the intention to help, counseling is what? Counseling is a helping profession, right? Until or until you feel like helping someone from, I mean, internally you are, if you are not motivated, the skills and knowledge cannot be converted into practical side. So first, I think the requirement is that you should have that passion, you should have that instinct to help someone who needs your assistance, right? So first thing is that, which is you will come from your own reflection, self reflection, right? So first reflect on these characteristics. Are you comfortable helping someone? Are you comfortable listening to others concerns, right? Are you able to will you be able to communicate the rational ways to them, right? Do you have these skills? Do you have this passion, this interest? Only then go for this counseling psychology. Otherwise, even despite knowing all the thing, you may not be able to assist those who need it. This is the first part. I mean, knowledge, skill, we all know what are the requirements and all, but the internal thing that you should reflect first. Second question you ask is the emerging area, right, where they can do it. So there are two, three things that I can see in next 5 to 10 years. I mean, people are already working in it. I am getting oriented toward positive psychology now these days.
Okay.
Positive psychology, right? Because everyone is now these days talking about happiness, subjective well-being, psychological well-being, mental health, right? Especially after this COVID-19 scenario,
Yes.
right? This importance of mental health, now people are realizing it, right? That it actually matters, right? WHO is coming up with so many programs catering to this mental health of the individual. And in mental health, different approaches are there, as you know,
Yeah.
you are also a student of psychology.
Yes.
Different approaches are there, right? One approach is positive psychology. So positive psychology says that in order to make someone happy, you are not supposed just to remove their negativity. You have to instill positivity also, right? I mean, neutral is not happiness, right? If you remove someone's sadness and make them neutral, it will not help. After removing sadness, you have to instill some positive emotions also, right? So that idea by Martin Seligman is really great, and I can see in different domains this positive psychology is now emerging. Positive education is there in many universities, many schools. They have already started positive curriculum, a positive curriculum from the very beginning, from the nursery or kindergarten. They are now planning education in a way that will instill positive attributes among students. Value inculcation is very important, and value inculcation, the best method to inculcate values among youngsters is this. Positive psychology is one of the, and I think that is a promising area. And I'm also trying to work in this positive psychology also. We'll plan something about it. Yes.
Is there any research area, particular research area on which you are working in positive psychology?
In positive psychology, yes, subjective well-being is one thing where we are trying to work in, right? Subjective well-being, psychological well-being is the area, right? And now at our department, we are trying to do something about general well-being using Indian knowledge systems. So our department, I mean, the process is still going on. The Indian knowledge system, what it suggests for well-being, So that is one area which relates positive psychology plus Indian knowledge system. We will see how Indian knowledge system provides some information to manage our well-being. So that is one area which I'm trying to work in.
Okay. And so, is there any collaboration or any plan for the collaboration with the other institutes in psychology?
With the other institute?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. We are trying to have some collaboration.
Okay.
Right. For example, recently I got one collaborative project with Central University of Bathinda.
Okay.
Right. So therein we are trying to work in one of the areas, emerging area, right, related to women only. And other institutes also we are trying to plan. I mean, in India, this Central University of Bathinda is there. Abroad, we have some multidisciplinary projects with different institutes. I have one collaboration with MIT USA also, and Mid Sweden University also. We have one collaboration. Though area is different, but we are trying to collaborate as much as possible. Because now these days it is always. I mean, it is. We know we are trying to understand human behavior, and behavior is determined by multiple factors, multiple angles are there, right? Psychologists are trying to look at from an individual perspective, right? But we have to, if we have to look at the things from social aspects, from other aspects, so we need collaboration. So I hope I answer your question, right?
Yeah. So there are many students who are doing, psychology from very nominal colleges and universities, and they are pursuing their psychology honors. Then they are doing a master's program. So, what kind of message you would like to give to those students who want to, pursue psychology? They want to complete their higher education in this field, and they just want to make their career. So, what kind of message or what kind of job opportunities that you would like to tell to them?
See, as far as job opportunities are concerned, I mean, the times to come, psychology is going to be a very is a very has a very great potential as far as jobs are concerned, right? So there are two kinds of job scenario that we have in psychology, as you know, right? One is the applied side, the practitioner, right? Another side is research and teaching, right? So both things require a different set of characteristics. So first you need to know which area, which domain you want to settle in, right? Applied side also, I mean, as we all know, our government also has taken many initiative in which they are recruiting counselors and all, right? So you have to be eligible for that, not technically eligible, but personality wise also you need to be compatible with that post, with that job. So counselor is one thing. Now these days, another thing is there, this entrepreneurship. These entrepreneurial activities are being done by these psychologists. So many organizations are there which are actually coming up with their startups to provide psychological services. Maybe it may be online, offline, and all, right? Uh, in practical domain only, in applied side only, you may go with the career counseling organizations, right? You can have that thing also. On the other hand, if you are planning your career in research and teaching, then my message to all is that it's time to think about quality research, right? Though our system is such that it, as of now, it promote quantity of research, but let me tell you that in India we really we want to it's a high time to start qualitative thing, right? Qualitative and quality thing also. What do I mean by quality thing is that research to understand human behavior, not to update our CVs, right? I hope you got the message, right? See, in research, in teaching, you have to focus on the quality of thing, and it's high time that we should start as early as possible, right? Quality wise, I mean, it's a bit unfortunate that in India, right, the quality of our research is not being presented anywhere because of some issues, some quality issues. So we need to do something we need to do something regarding our methodology, the area which we are adopting, right, and the skill expertise we are giving to the youngsters, to young the budding psychologists. All these things need to be taken care of. And this one.
Actually, so there are a lot of things that we, like to complete and all. But yeah, thank you so much. You have already completed every aspect that I want to hear. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you once again. I thank you for giving this opportunity to express my views on this issue, and I wish all the best to the Yourpedia team. Thank you.
So much.